Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Road, and in today's video we are going to be doing something kind of weird. It's going to be like rapid fire. I'm going to be shooting these bad boys at you as fast as possible because the other night I was checking my list. I don't know if you guys do this, but I feel like it's every car guy, but I have a list of cars on my phone in my notes app that I've had since I was like 17 years old, and every time I find a car that I really like I really want to buy one day, I add it to that list. And then I usually add also the price of like the price range of how much I would spend on that car too, at least to buy it, not to modify it, but yeah, how much I would spend on it. But either way, yeah, I add them on there, and I added a car to my list last night, and I was like, oh my god, what if I just tell people literally every single car that I have on my list of cars that I want to own one day in life. Like I said, this list has been being accrued since I was 17, but I run a strict ship here, boys. I run a hard bargain, okay? There's not that many cars here. You might think like, okay, well, 17, the guys, I'm 24 now, so 7 years of like car research and stuff. There's probably like 100, 200 cars on this list. No, I only like put cars on this list that I genuinely like stare at all the time on Facebook Marketplace. So without further ado, let's go right into it. First up are the two that I have owned already, my Nissan 350Z and an Acura Integra. I like both of them a lot, especially the 350Z. I really want another 350Z. I've always loved how they look. I just freaking love them, man. They're just absolutely gorgeous cars. And the next one is an Acura RSX. Yes, I want this car's younger brother. It's just modern. It's a K series. I want to experience it. I like how they look. They handle really, really well. Honestly, better than an Integra. I like it. Next is a Super WRX Blobeye. This is what I mean, by the way, guys. We're rapid firing today, boys. We got a PPSH 41. We're going with the drum mag on it. Oh my Lanta, we're going crazy. But yeah, Super WRX Blobeye. I feel like I have to include at least one WRX, and so that's why I like the Blobeye the best, and so I put the Blobeye here. I love the Blobeye. It's gorgeous. Gotta boom, gotta bing, gotta boom, gotta bing, gotta boom, gotta bing. All right, next is the Evo 9. Yeah, I want the rival to the WRX as well. I love the Evos. I think the Evo 9 is my favorite generation of them because I like the Evo 7, 8, and 9 body styles the best, and they have the best 4G63s, and they're the most modern. They have the most modern like stuff in them, so that's good too. So yeah, I'd want an Evo 9. Next is a Mark V Supra. I know you might be like, what? That's a really random one. A Mark V Supra, where did that come from? And for those wondering, no, the Mark IV Supra isn't on this list. I love the Mark IV Supra, but I wouldn't be willing to spend the amount of money that they're asking for a Mark IV Supra right now on one. You could buy a Mark V for the price of a Mark IV, and I'd rather have the Mark V. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but I really would. I love everything about it. It's gorgeous looking. I like that it has a BMW motor. I know that people don't like that, but I do. Oh my god, I need a sip of water. Oh. But yeah, I know that people don't like the fact that it has a BMW motor, but I do. It's something that I like BMWs. I think they're good for making power, so I'm happy with that. Next is a BMW, actually. The BMW M4, F82, and G82. I want both of them. I love the M4s. Both generations of the M4 I think are gorgeous. The G82, I would say, is slightly uglier than the F82, but it has a much better interior. It handles better, it's faster, so I'd want both of them. I think they're both great cars. Next is the Lexus IS300 and SC300. Maybe SC400 and manual swap it. I really don't know. I just like the SC one for the body. I love the SC body. The IS300, I want that because the 2J. And so maybe I'd get the IS300 with the 2J and then the SC400 with the 1UZ, so I can have the best of both worlds. But either way, I want both of them. They're both awesome cars. They'd obviously both be my drift cars, but the IS300 could be like a drift sedan, and you could have people in the back, and that'd be cool. It'd be fun. So I'd love to own both of those cars one day. I know the driver of that truck, my friend. Anywho, where was I? Oh yeah, Mazda RX-7, FD, and the FC. FD RX-7 is my dream car. I mean, you guys know this. I've liked the FD RX-7 since the dawn of time, and the FC is also a really cool car to me. I know they're unreliable, but if I had these many cars, I don't think I'd have to worry about reliability on one or two of them. So I would definitely, this gets my right away, so if he goes, he's an idiot. But yeah, friggin', I love both the RX-7s. I know you're probably like, what about the FB? I don't know. I don't really like the FB. It's not my style. Anyway, next is the Nissan 240SX, S13, and the S14, and the Silvia S15. That's literally every S chassis that's pretty popular, not like the S12 or before that, but the popular S chassis, I want them. They're drift machines, they're awesome cars. I like how they look, everything about them is great, especially the S15, it looks gorgeous. We're gonna rapid fire through a couple here, and I'm not gonna really explain myself because I don't really have much to say about them, and we're probably already like, what are we at? Oh, I can't see. But we're probably already at like 6-7 minutes of time, and I really don't want this video to be like 30 minutes long, and I still have a lot of cars to go through. So we got the 300ZX Z32. Oh, I almost just like threw up. 300ZX Z32, C5 Corvette, 2500 HD Silverado, probably like around 2017, like that generation. I don't know exactly what generation that would be called, but that's like what I like. I would want at least one truck. Actually, this is the only truck on this list, by the way. The BMW 325i E30. I know you're probably like, why not the M330? I don't know. I just like how the regular bodies look on the base models. 328i E36, same deal there. I'd rather just spend like a couple $1,000s on an E36 than spend like $15,000 on an M3. BMW M3 E46. You may be like, well, why is he going M3 on the E46 and not the other two? Because I love the E46 M3, man. And the motor it has is incredible. It's incredible. It's like the only motor that could rival the 2JZ's monster freaking, I was getting distracted because like I was looking at me. Monster popular, whatever, tuning potential that the 2J had. That's like the only inline six of around that era that can like battle it, you know? And so I like that about it. It's really cool. But anyway, Nissan R35 GTR, for obvious reasons. The Porsche Cayman GT4 RS. I think this thing slept on. For those that are about to be like, whoa, so he probably has a 911 GT3 RS. Oh, look at that. That guy's got a nice couple cars there. Dang, bro. I like that. But no, I don't. I don't have the 911 GT3 RS on this list because I don't really like them as much as I like the GT4 RS, especially for the money. Like, it's so much cheaper to just buy a GT4 RS, and I like how they look. I think they're awesome. They're so cool. Anyway, NB Miata. No, I don't want an NA. I know, that's surprising. I like the NB. It's the same thing, but better in my opinion. I'd rather have the NB. It's a crazy thing to say, but I really would. Next is the Toyota Mark II JZX100. Again, this is another car that people are probably going to be like, oh, what? Oh, so he probably has the Chaser on his list of cars he wants. No. I like the Mark II a lot better. I think the Mark II looks so much more sophisticated. I love everything about it. It's pretty much the same thing as a Chaser, honestly. But it's also cheaper because everybody wants the Chaser. Nobody really cares about the Mark II. I'd rather just have the Mark II. I think it's so much cooler. Next is the AE86. Duh. Everybody's got to have an AE86. I know everybody turns them into drift cars. If I had an AE86, I would definitely turn it into like a track car. I think that'd be so much more fun than a drift car with that thing. They're so light, and it's such a small wheelbase. And the 4AGE is just like such a good motor. I would love to own one. I do think they're overrated though. I will say that. I've never understood the hype behind them. Like, they're cool cars. I would obviously want to own one, but people freaking hype them up way too much. Anyway, next is the second generation of the Audi R8. I don't like the first gen. I think the first gen's really ugly. I've always never liked the first gen, but the second gen, the new one, the like more aggressive, modern one, I like those. And they're not that expensive again. They're like, I have on my list 100K to 150K. Like, that's not that bad for pretty much a supercar. Next is a McLaren 720S. This is like one of my expensive cars. So like one of the expensive cars I really want to own one day. Ever since I saw the 720S, I fell in love with it though. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it's such a gorgeous car. I love everything about the 720S. And I'm not a supercar guy, as you can tell on this list. I mainly like Japanese tuner cars, but I would love to own a 720. I think they're absolutely sexy cars. Their body lines are incredible. I don't care if they're not that good at performance. Like, I don't really care. They are though. They have 700 plus horsepower. Like, that's crazy. Anyway, next is a 3000 GT VR4. If I had infinite money in the world, I would own a 3000 GT VR4, but I don't think this is one car that I'd ever like own as my only sports car, you know? So chances are I might never actually own this one, but I would like to one day. I hate that part of the road. That part sucks. Next is a G37 Coupe. I do have a couple of Z's on this list, the 300ZX, 350Z, but not any of the G's, and this is the only one that I really want. I like the G35 coupes, they're cool, the Q60s are cool, whatever, but the G37 coupes I really like. I like them better than I like the 370Z, which is, I know, surprising to hear, but I do. I think they're just such a better looking car. I love everything about them. They're sexy cars. Next is the Honda S2000. Duh. I mean, come on. They're such gorgeous, and they're not even that bad for like, they're pretty much a JDM Legend. You can find one for like 15K. Like, I love that. Next is the Civic Si EM1, or the 6th gen Civic. I would love to own a Civic. I need to own a Civic. Like, come on. Everybody needs to experience like a turbo Honda motor at one point in their lives. If this wasn't my daily, I would turbo this Honda motor. Everybody needs it. I would love to have it in the EM1 Civics. Next is the NA1 NSX, or the 1st gen NSX, the NSX we all love. Obvious reasons there. Next is the R32 GTR, my favorite of the like 90s GTRs. Another obvious one. I'm a JDM guy, obviously I want the JDM cars. Next is a Lamborghini Murcielago. 1 second. Oh yeah, next is Lamborghini Murcielago. This is my other expensive car of this list. I mean, I guess there are a lot of expensive cars on this list. R35 GTR is definitely not cheap. R32 GTR is not cheap. But the Murcielago, like Murcielago and the 720S are both like multi-$100,000 cars. But I've always loved the Murcielago. I would put the Diablo on this list too if I thought I would become like a millionaire one day, but I don't think I'm going to. So I will keep just like 1 or 2 supercars on the list. And the Murcielago is definitely one of them. I love everything about them. Last Lamborghini to have a manual too, that's freaking sick. Yeah, there's nothing I would change about the Murcielago. I love everything. Oh, this is a weird road. Next is a Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I would definitely turn this into like a fun little drift car. It's so underrated, so slept on. I get that they can't make tons of power, but they don't need to when they have 350 horsepower out of the gate. That's pretty good. Next is the E24 635 CSI. This is like my dream BMW. I love everything about it. The shark nose is so cool. Yes, I would like something like an M1 Pro car one day, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to have enough money to afford an M1 Pro car, so I would go with an E24. That's like the perfect classic BMW in my opinion. I freaking love them. They're such good cars. If you don't like them, you're wrong. Next is an RX-8. I know it's a weird one, and I definitely don't think this is going to be one that I would buy into, like, if I already had like all the others, maybe I'd buy the RX-8. Like, this is not going to be like my next purchase or anything, but I do like them. I think they're really interesting cars. I'd like to see how they feel and all that. Next is the Eclipse GSX 2nd generation, or 2G. Yeah, 4G63. All-wheel drive Mitsubishi Eclipse is exactly what I want in my life. You actually, oh gosh, God, that's bad sounding. But yeah, no, they're freaking sick. I like them. I like them a lot. Anyway, next is the Mark 7 GTI. You got to have at least one. If I have all these cars on this list and don't have a single GTI, that is doing a disservice to the car world. So I like the Mark 7 the best. I know it's crazy to say. Like, people are gonna be like, oh my God, he's not a true enthusiast. He doesn't like the 90s ones. I don't know, man. I like the Mark 7. I think it looks the best. I really, it's the fastest. Like, I like everything about it. Next is the Audi S4 B5. I've wanted an S4 B5 since I found out what they were. They're so like, just like unassuming, and I love that about them. They're so cool. They're so cool. So cool. Next is the Pontiac Firebird 4th generation, which is the WS6 honeycomb taillights, that Firebird. I think these things are absolutely sexy, and they come with an LS, obviously, so that's also really cool. I don't have a lot of American cars on this list, but this is one of them. And to finish off the list is another American car, the Chevy Camaro ZL1 1LE, which is a 6th generation Camaro. If I can't ever afford a ZL1 1LE, then I just get the SS. I don't really care too much if it's the ZL1 1LE, but I would like the ZL1. But either way, oh my God, these things are still like top 20 fastest Nürburgring cars, and it's a muscle car. That's insane. That's so cool to me. I love that so much about it. I would love to own one. This is the one that I added to my list last night, by the way, that made me realize, oh wow, I should make a video about this, because I freaking loved this car and I wanted to talk about it. Oh God, man, my stomach's hurting. And I never really have time to talk about it on my other videos that do cheap cars, and these cars are definitely not cheap. But yeah, that's all the cars I want. It's a long video probably, and I could have made it easily so much longer. I'd kind of like tried running through it all, and there are still so many cars that I probably still I have on the list that are going to end up on my list. There's a lot of cars in this world that I love. A lot of cars in this world that I want to own. M4, yeah, good guy. That's so gorgeous. God, I love them. But yeah, there's a lot of cars that I will most likely add to my list that are not on it right now. But we will only see. It says enter only, you moron. But yeah, we will see. So, God, this is just a nightmare. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna go in here, get some gas, and end the video. I'm surrounded by a bunch of morons, by the way. You see that guy trying to pull out of the enter only area, slamming into me? And there's kids doing parkour over there. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, there are some cars that I definitely missed and that will be added to my list eventually. But for right now, that's all we got. So thank you guys so much for watching. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.